I'm Will Ordner. This is Chargers Now, and Chargers Now is presented by Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. We are going to be discussing Dexter Lawrence on today's episode because there are new trade news. Not rumors, news. Where is Dexter Lawrence at with the New York Giants? Will he be a New York Giant? Doesn't sound like it. Before we get into any of that, though, hit that sub button. We're on the road to 4K. Thank you guys so much for helping us get to 3,000 subscribers. We started the channel in January. It's the middle of April, and we're already to 3,000 subscribers. I want to get to 4. Help us out. Come on in, hit that subscribe button, and see if we can get there together. Last night, Ian Rappaport released a tweet where he said that Dexter Lawrence and the New York Giants are at an impasse right now when it comes to his contract negotiations. This is a big deal because Lawrence, he already made it clear through ESPN's Adam Schefter that he wanted a trade. The fact that now Ian Rappaport is saying, hey, they're not getting anywhere on this contract negotiation does seem to entail that Lawrence is going to be on the trading block. Giants general manager Joe Schoen had this to say, and I think that Rappaport did a great job of encapsulating it in this tweet. Schoen said, I'll echo what Coach said last week. We'd like for Dexter to be here, and at some point, we'll come to a resolution here. Whatever that may be, we'll see. So it's clear from what Harbaugh has said, John, and what Schoen has said, Joe, that they want Dexter Lawrence there. But they are willing to trade him and move on from him if they are unable to come to a deal, which Mike Garafolo, another NFL insider, is now basically standing down, 10 toes down with Ian Rappaport, that there is a standoff. Lawrence's team wants a deal to get done where he is getting paid big-time bucks. And the New York Giants are saying, after the last year that you had, I don't know that we're willing to do that. In my personal opinion, Joe Ortiz has got to get involved in this. Joe Ortiz has to make it clear that there is an opportunity for a trade to happen. Joe Ortiz has to make it clear that this Chargers team is in a win-now mode. You went out and you got the big-name offensive coordinator. You got the big-name defensive coordinator. Get the big-name player. Make the big move. And I'm going to detail with 4 different reasons why a trade could and should happen for the Chargers in the rest of this video. But before we do, I need to let you know that this show is made possible by our good friends over at Prize Picks. The playoffs are here for basketball. Baseball is underway, and it's time to cash in with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports pick app and the best place to win cash while watching sports. To qualify for a Prize Picks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including points, rebounds, assists, three-pointers, and several others across all sports. If you're more of a baseball guy, you can choose stats such as hits, home runs, and strikeouts. I have a lineup that I've got going on for the action later on this evening. Jalen Suggs, more on his points. Steph Curry, less on his points. 10 pays 20. New user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive 50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra 50 in lineups with Prize Picks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description. Why should the Chargers make this trade? Well, it's obvious. Dexter Lawrence is a clear, and there's a reason why that's capitalized and in all caps, upgrade on this defensive line group for the Chargers. And the Chargers have made some decent moves on the interior of the defensive line. I'm not here to tell you that Dalvin Tomlinson is not a good move. But when you look at Dexter Lawrence's stats, remember, last year was a down year for Dexter Lawrence. Last year was supposed to be the worst year that Dexter Lawrence had. Last year was supposed to be an all-time bad year for Lawrence. I am telling you right now that was just a blip on the radar. I'm telling you right now that Lawrence is only going to improve more over the rest of his career because when you look at his stats over the last 4 seasons, he is off the charts when it comes to getting tackles, to getting tackles for loss, to getting into the backfield and getting big-time sacks, to hitting the quarterback. Nobody is better on the interior of the defensive line. And when you look at the Chargers' interior defensive line right now, Tart, Tomlinson, Caldwell, solid. That is a great crew. It could be even better. It can be an elite crew. This trade is an absolute no-brainer for the Chargers. If Lawrence comes in, he instantly takes this crew from a good, great crew possibly to an elite crew. A crew on the interior defensive line that we're talking about as being historically great. The Chargers need to do something. I'm tired of Joe Ortiz being average, not taking big moves, not making big swings. Do it now. Swing like a batter who's up 3-0 in a baseball count. Swing off your ass. Make a move. Do something for once. This is a no-brainer. You've gone all in everywhere else. Go all in your player acquisition. The other reason why this trade should happen. Chargers can afford him. There's not a lot of teams in the National Football League that can necessarily afford Dexter Lawrence because he is asking for a lot of money. Right now, when we look at the rumors around Lawrence and the contract negotiations that he's got going on right now with the Giants, according to Ricky, shout out to the dog. He's a big-time scoops guy, apparently. He's got a nose for sniffing out the big trades or the big moves. Right now, it's $10 million that is separating Dexter Lawrence and the New York Giants. Sexy Dexy believes that he should be making $30 million per year. That's a lot of money to be willing to give to an interior defensive lineman. If you don't believe me, well, let's just look at the chart right now. Because there's only one person who's making over $30 million on the interior of the defensive line, and that's Chris Jones. And obviously, Chris Jones is the best interior defensive lineman in the National Football League. Well, maybe not. Because after you kind of think about it a little bit, Chris Jones, he's starting to take some steps back. Dexter Lawrence, can continue to move forward and can continue to grind and push himself into a position where he is winning big-time football games for this Chargers team. The Chargers have the cap space available to make this move. The Giants don't. There's a reason why the Giants don't want to pay him $30 million. Because it means it's going to not go to other players on that team. The Chargers have $44 million in cap space. The Chargers could pay him and still have enough money left over to go after a borderline Pro Bowler. Right now, there is no reason why this team in LA should not be making calls to the New York Giants to make this trade go through. I'm telling you, it's easily affordable and something that easily can happen. If you agree with me, hit the thumbs up button on today's video that the Chargers need to make this move for Dexter Lawrence. They are the top team right now, or at least last time I checked, that was linked to Dexter Lawrence. Go out and make this move. Go out and make this move. Right now, the Chargers have made it very clear they are in a win-now mode. It's very rare that you have a window that is open like this for the Chargers in the National Football League. How often have we seen teams go and make move after move after move, thinking they're acquiring the franchise quarterback? Chargers don't have to do that. We got our guy. Justin Herbert is the guy for the future. And I know that at times he struggled in the NFL playoffs. The playoff win hasn't come yet. It's going to happen. You got the head coach in Jim Harbaugh. He won a natty at Michigan. Probably should have won a Super Bowl in his time in the National Football League and is probably going to win one here coming up soon. So when I look at this Chargers team, do not waste the precious opportunity that you have. How often do teams find a quarterback like Justin Herbert? They don't grow on trees. So make the move now. Lastly, I think there's a way for this trade to come through where the Chargers are going to be able to keep some 2027 draft capital. General Manager Joe Ortiz has made it clear that he very much values that 2027 draft. So much so that he didn't make a lot of moves in NFL free agency because he wanted to retain the third-round comp pick that he's projected to get for Odafe Oweh leaving in free agency. So how do you make this move happen? Well, you're going to have to give up a good player. You are. But I believe that the Chargers can make a deal with the Giants if they give up this year's first-round pick in Quentin Johnston. I believe that pick 22 and Quentin Johnston are going to be able to get the deal done for Dexter Lawrence. And I get it. It might scare a lot of Charger fans. Quentin Johnston, he's starting to come into his own. But there's a reason why the Chargers haven't given him his fifth-year option yet. Because I don't know that they're fully bought in on him. And I think they're leaving up some room to be able to trade him. Would you make this trade? Let me know down below in the comment section of today's video if this is a move that you are willing to make. I'm willing to make it, but also at the same time, you know, I might be a little bit more willing to take some risks than some other Charger fans. This comes to us from Pat Leonard. He does a fantastic job of covering the Giants. He says it's not at an impasse between the Giants and Dexter Lawrence. He says that the negotiations are broken. The teams aren't talking to each other, Lawrence's team and the Giants. That means a trade is coming, in my personal opinion. So take advantage of it. Be a part of the trade. Make the move, Joe Ortiz. Stop sitting on the sidelines. It's time to stop being a watcher. Hit that subscribe button if you love the content that we've got going on the channel. We are going to have a ton of draft content coming out for you the next week or so. You don't want to miss out on any of that. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Bolt up.